you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you?
Hi, welcome to PVI Times. I'm Brandon with Pauma Valley Insurance, Valley Center's most trusted independent insurance agency since 1978. With the upcoming holidays and the rainy season right around the corner, it's time to start thinking safety on our roadways. Here with some safe driving tips and to talk about making our community a safer place to drive for all of us is Officer Mark Latulippe with the California Highway Patrol. Thanks, Mark. We appreciate you coming in.
You bet.
Alright, let's start with Valley Center. In this area, what is the single most dangerous driving activity on the road that compromises driver safety?
For us up here, due to the construction of our roadways, speed. People are just driving a little too fast for the type of roadways that we live on. We have a nice 4-lane highway on Valley Center Road, but that's about it that will accommodate any kind of high speed. Our other roads that are around here are 2-lane, opposite direction roadways, not much on the shoulders, so you're not allowed very much, there's no room for mistakes on those roads. So speed would have to be my answer.
We definitely all need to slow down. And then what are the 3 most common citations issued here in Valley Center?
Commonly, speed, like I just mentioned. Also, we look for a lot of cell phones are happening. Registrations. Seatbelts are in there as well. So I can give you 4. So.
Perfect. And then as an insurance agent, I'm starting to see, a lot of cell phone violations pop up on my clients' driving records. What, can you touch on the dangers of cell phone use while driving?
Cell phones, we lump it into a distraction. Other things in your car are also distractions, but the cell phone above all the rest, you're engaged in a conversation.
Yeah.
You're not focusing on your driving, which is what you should be while you're driving. We all will reach for the radio or or to change our iPod around or something like that. But the cell phone, you're not only, hopefully everyone's using hands-free, but we all know that that's not the case for everyone. Not only is your hand up here or on your iPhone or holding it here, that's not allowed either.
Yeah.
So not only do you have your hands off the wheel and things of that sort, but your mind is engaged in a conversation rather than driving and where your attention should be.
Rather than being focused on driving.
Exactly.
And then as we're approaching the rainy season, what tips do you have to prevent accidents on the wet roads?
Mainly, again, goes back to speed. Got to slow down. The wet roadway creates less tire friction for your car. Those turns that you take normally aren't going to be the same. You're going to be sliding around a little bit. Just got to be aware of it, be ready for it, and slow down. That's
so true. And then for many people, they're unaware of the steps to take when they are involved in an accident. So can you please describe the proper steps for drivers to take who are involved in an auto accident?
If you're involved in any kind of accident, if there's no injuries, it's just property damage, which we commonly have out here on the roadways. If you can, move your car out of the way. Move it out of the road. The road is a dangerous place to be. We have a lot of corners around here. People come around the corner, you're still on the road, we're going to have another crash. So the best thing, what we try to get everybody to do, is to move out of the roadway. That's our biggest thing. At that point, stand by for a highway patrol or sheriffs if we're busy, or the fire department. You can start exchanging information with each other, things of that sort. If you're injured, do your best to stay right there and try not to move out of your car if you're suffering any moderate to major injuries. Minor injuries, if you're able to get out, then again, try to move your car.
Yeah, just get out of harm's way. And then, before the interview, we were discussing some other tips that you might have. Do you mind giving some other suggestions that you have for drivers on our roadways?
One tip for everyone is when you see an emergency vehicle coming up behind you, make sure to slow down, signal, move to the right, and try to stop. If you can't stop, just mainly move out of their way. They want you to go to the right. I can't tell you how many times I've been out here. People will stop in the lane, they'll move to the left. As someone who's driving an emergency vehicle, I expect that you go, as the vehicle code requires you to, move to the right.
Yeah.
It's frustrating trying to weave around cars when they're not doing what I'm expecting you to do.
Exactly, and it definitely puts other people at risk and a
Absolutely.
danger of being hit. Well, thank you again for coming in today. We really appreciate the great tips. Thank you, I appreciate it. And you know, Valley Center is a beautiful place to live. Let's all set an example for our families and our community and practice safe driving. Thank you so much. Have a great day.